This is on this video, we're going to go over installation and setup of the FireStick or FireTV, whichever one you prefer, to allow the install of Kodi. To give a little background on Kodi, it's an open source software that was originally designed for the original Xbox. Your Xbox had to have been modded to be able to install the software. Back then it was called XBMC. As the demand for Xbox lowered, they eventually broke into a new project and changed the name to Kodi. They still do some support on the original Xbox. It's called XBMC for Xbox. Kodi is on multiple platforms, including Linux, Windows, iOS, on certain generations of the Apple TV, and Android, which is what we're going to be working on. The FireTV is based off of Android. All right, let's get started. First thing you're going to need to do is go to the very top tab, and you're going to need to move over to settings. Now in settings, you want to then go down one and move to the right until you find device. Then under device, we're going to look for developer options. I already have these turned on, but yours is going to be off. You're going to want to turn on ADB debug, which is going to allow you to send commands through the network to install Kodi. Then you need to go down to apps for unknown sources. This needs to be turned on so that we can install Kodi, because it's not an official Amazon app from the store. So this needs to be on, otherwise it won't allow us to install it. All right, now that we have these two turned on, we're going to need to go back to about, because we're going to need to grab the IP address to send the commands to install Kodi. All right, now click on about and go down to network. And if you look over to the right column, you can see the SSD you're connected to, your IP address, gateway, subnet mask. What we're going to need is the IP address. So as you can see for mine is 192.168.1.6. So write that down or remember it, because you'll need it later. To get started on setting up your FireStick or FireTV with Kodi, there's several things you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need to purchase a FireStick or FireTV, 3 different software that you're going to need to download. And I've conveniently put them all on my tutorial page on my website, forthegamers.com. And if you come here and click on the top left corner here, go to tutorials, you'll find Kodi on FireStick, FireTV. Click learn more. It's going to take you to my page. I'm going to have a video up here. I'm going to have this video up here explaining how to do it yourself. First, you're going to need a FireTV or FireStick. So you can click on one of these, which will take you to Amazon, where you can purchase it, or a FireStick. Once you've purchased that and you have it and you're ready to go and install everything, you're going to need these 3 pieces of software. Depending on which browser you have, it's going to download it a little differently. I'm using Chrome. So if you're going to need App Starter. You come here and click here, and it'll download it down here, which is going to store in your download folder. Keep that, and you'll need it for later. Come back here, download Kodi APK. As you can see, it's downloading here. It's going to be in your download folder. So if you want to find it manually, you can come here and go to your download folder, and you'll find it here. As you can see, here's my app starter, here's my Kodi, and then you can put it wherever you want. If you want to store it somewhere else on your computer, you can easily do so. And the last one we'll need is ADB link. You're going to come here and begin download, wait for it to search for the mirrors, and then when this comes up, you click on one of these mirrors and it's going to download it. Now that you have downloaded the 3 pieces of software needed, the app starter, Kodi, and ADB link, we're gonna install it. You'll find it under your downloads. If you open up your Fire File Manager and go to downloads, you'll find it installed, and you're gonna find it's gonna be ADB LW207. You're gonna double click on that if you haven't already installed it. You're just gonna hit the default. You're gonna just hit next and then install. After you hit install, make sure the launch ADB link is clicked. So when you hit finish, it's going to load it up. So now we have it loaded and ready to go. Now we're going to configure ADB link to connect to your FireStick or FireTV. As I told you earlier in the video, when I was showing you how to find your IP address of your device, I told you to write it down or remember it. This is where we're going to use it. We're going to come here to New. Make sure Android is selected and Kodi. In description, you can put whatever you want. I'm going to put FireStick, and address is what we're going to put in, which mine was 192.168.1.6. Remember, yours isn't going to be the same one. Keep everything else default and just hit save. Now that we saved it, you can see it's been added under current device. You can add more than one if you have more than one in your household. And we're going to come here and click connect. When you click connect, you'll see here it's been added to your connected devices. And now you can start with installing APK, and we're going to first install a app starter, which you're going to remember it's been saved under downloads, and you'll find here app starter and hit open. Then you want to click yes. It'll only be a few seconds and it's been installed. The next app we're going to install is Kodi. Come back to install APK button. Go to where it's downloaded in your downloads folder. Find it in your folder. Click on it and click open, and then click yes. This one's going to take a little bit longer. Sometimes it can fail. If it fails, try again. If it keeps failing, I'm going to show an alternate way of installing it through the FireStick itself. But you're going to need at least the app starter installed, which I've never had an issue installing that one. Sometimes Kodi won't install the first try. Sometimes it'll just hang there forever with the progress bar keeps resetting and keeps going. Sometimes it doesn't work the first try. I'm going to show you a way to see if it's working or not. And I'm also going to show an alternate way to install it through the FireStick itself, but I'll show you that later. But for right now, you'll need to bring up the the task manager, which you press Control Alt Delete and click Task Manager. And you're going to want to look up here on the top tab for Performance, and you're going to want to click on that because we want to go down to your Ethernet, the one that you see a graph. You'll see a graph, or we're looking at the one that you're using. You'll see send and receive numbers going back and forth. You can see it's in kilobits. But we should see, if it's working, we should see these jump up to megabits per second. So one way you can see if it's working is if it's transferring. This whole process too should only take like 2-3 minutes. So if it's longer than that, then something is not working right. So I'll install this again, and you want to look, you can see it jumped up to 18 megabits sent. That's showing you that it is working correctly. If you still see it both receive and sent is still kilobits and you're not downloading nothing, this is all you're doing, then it's just going to run forever and it will never finish installing. It should only take, like I was saying, 2 to 3 minutes, and your send should jump up into the megabits per second. If it's doing that, then it should install and work correctly. But I'll show you an alternative way further along in the video. As you can see, it's finished and it's installed. Here is an alternate way to install Kodi through the FireStick itself. You need at least the app starter installed, which shouldn't be any problem installing. I just found sometimes there can be problems installing Kodi through the ADB Fire, where it just hangs up. And if you're just having all kinds of trouble, this is a second way of doing it. Just make sure you have App Starter 4.0 installed. Once you have that installed, you can go over to Settings, and you want to go down to Applications. Then Manage Installed Applications. And here's where you're gonna come down and look for App Starter, and you're gonna click on that and you're gonna launch it. Once it's launched, you'll see this separate app launcher. But what we need this for is we're gonna want to go and install Kodi. As you can tell, I already have it installed. But if you're having trouble, this is a way you can install it, and you can also keep it updated when there's new versions coming out. So if you go down to Updates, you can then move over to the right, and you can actually check for update on App Starter and Kodi. We won't be paying attention to SPMC at the moment. So you can come here and go to check for updates. As you can tell, it found a newer version, but it's actually the previous 16.1. Because I don't have this set up as release candidate, you can come here to Settings and change. If you go down all the way to Settings and then come down here to Kodi update policy, you can change this from stable to beta and release candidate. It's whatever you prefer, but I like keeping it at beta and release candidate. There could be bugs, but usually you get the most updated with the best features. So you want to change that to beta and release candidate. Now after this is changed, you want to go back up to updates, and you'll want to check for updates again. This time you can see that there was a release candidate 3 was found. If you don't have it installed at all, it's gonna check for updates and you'll find one too, and you just go down to the bottom one where it says update to latest version, and it's gonna go out and download it. Now that it's been downloaded, you can come down, move it down to install, and you want to click on that, and now it's going to install the new version. So this will keep you updated, and will also initially install Kodi for the first time if you're having trouble installing it through ADB link. But you're still going to want to use this for future updates. So now we're going to open up Kodi for the first time. These first couple tabs are if you have any kind of movie collection on your computer or server, you can link them up to your server and play movies throughout your house, throughout different FireSticks with Kodi on it. But that'll be a later tutorial. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to go down to add-ons, because we're going to... Alright, now that we have Kodi installed, we're going to add some popular add-ons that allows us to watch TV shows, movies, pay-per-view, TV channels, sporting events. And so what we have to do now is add a source called Fusion, or a repository, you could think of it, because we're going to download a wizard that's going to run a script and add these add-ons for us. So what we need to do is look up on the top left, you see a power button and then a little gear wheel. We're going to click on that. That's the settings. And then now we need to go down to the bottom right where it says File Manager. In the File Manager, we're going to come down to Add Source. So here we're going to add the Fusion source. We're going to click on it. And here is where we're going to add the sources. Then we're going to go down to enter a name for this media. We're going to call this Fusion. Alright, so now we're just going to hit OK. And now we've added that to our source. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some add-ons, and to be able to install these add-ons we need to go up here, back up to settings, so that we can enable install of unknown sources. So we need to get to settings down to add-ons, and I already have it on, but unknown sources needs to be enabled. So when you go to enable, it's gonna give you a warning saying that add-ons will be given access to personal data stored on this device, and that they're not responsible to any damage, to loss of data or damage to this device. And you just say yes. So the next thing we need to do is install a wizard that will put all the most popular add-ons for us. It just will simplify a lot of the stuff. And we're going to install a program called Add-on Installer, so in the future we can find any new ones that might come out later on. So we're going to go down to highlight add-ons, and we're actually going to click the center button on your remote, the enter button. And here take us to the add-on browser, but we're going to go up to the little box up there on the top left, and we're going to click on that. And we're looking for install from zip file. We're going to get this other menu where we're going to go to the repository that we added previously that we called Fusion. So we're going to click on Fusion. We're going to go to the first one called Begin Here. And we're going to click on Plugin Program Add-on Installer. We're going to click on that. Give it a second and it's going to install, and you'll see a notification that it's been installed. And there it is on the top right. So now we're going to click on Install from zip file again. Go back to Fusion. And Begin Here. And we're going to go down to Plugin Video.HubWizard. This is going to install a script where we can quickly and easily install the add-ons we want. Alright, it's been installed and enabled. So we're going to go back out. Now you can see the wizard Now you can see Config Wizard. We're going to go up to it and we're going to click on it. And here you can see several scripts for Mac, Windows, Android, iOS, tvOS, and Linux. We're using Android, so we're going to select the Android one. And we're going to say yes. Now it's going to download all the necessary add-ons that we want, all in one go, instead of having to do it manually, one at a time. All right, that took about 35-40 seconds. Give it some time, but it will finally finish. It's done downloading and installing all the add-ons we need. If you look here under add-ons, you see that they're not there. Well, the reason is when they're installed, they've been disabled. So you need to come up here to My Add-ons. And then you want to go to All. And if you notice how, see there's a check mark, which means it's enabled, and X means it's disabled. So we're going to want to click on each of these and go over to the right to enable. Click on that. And we're going to want to do that for each one. These PVR, these are programmable video recorders, which it can do record live TV, but as of right now we're not using that, so we're going to skip over those ones. They mainly do the video add-ons. It's done downloading and installing all the add-ons we need. If you look here under add-ons, you see that they're not there. Well, the reason is when they're installed, they've been disabled. So you need to come up here to My Add-ons. And then you want to go to All. And if you notice how, see there's a check mark, which means it's enabled, and X means it's disabled. So we're going to want to click on each of these and go over to the right to enable. Click on that. And we're going to want to do that for each one. these PVR. These are programmable video recorders, which it can do record live TV, but as of right now, we're not using that, so we're gonna skip over those ones. They mainly do the video add-ons. Alright, now that I have most of these add-ons enabled, you can now see under add-ons, you can see all these different applications I have in here. I can show some quick examples of what some can do. For example, Exodus is a very good app for finding TV shows and movies. So if we come here to movies, then go down to people watching, or most popular, whatever one. You can search for a specific movie, and it'll give you a list of movies that are popular and being watched. So if I want to watch La La Land, you can just click on it, and it'll go out and find links for that movie from different providers. Now you can just click one of these links and it'll play it. Now I have fun trying different applications, playing around with what different ones do. There's also music. You can link to your music library and play those that you have music on your computer or laptop. There's also built-in applications that will play music from the internet. There's Pandora, for example. I'll go into more detail on later videos on setting that stuff up. And also, if you have any questions, please leave it down on the comment section on my website, and I'll do what I can to answer your question. Now that you have everything installed, Kodi and App Starter, what happens sometimes is you can't find the app to launch it again. Sometimes it won't show up under recent. As you see it right now, it does. If it doesn't, you have to go to your videos. I'm sorry, go home and go down to your apps and games. And you want to go all the way to the right to see all. And you're going down looking through Kodi. And so here's Kodi, but you would just click on it. But you already see it under most recent for me. But I'll show you an example. You saw that App Starter wasn't on my most recent on the front page. But if I come here and click on App Starter, it starts it up. But when I go back to the Amazon OS, you can see it now in the most recent category, and you can quickly get back to the Kodi or to App Starter and quickly relaunch it when you restart your FireStick. So here, for example, I'm in Kodi right now, and say you hit the home button on accident, or you do it on purpose to get to Amazon's OS. And a lot of times, if your app wasn't there, you'd have to do it manually. But now you can see you can quickly get back to it. But if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to manually launch Kodi because you can't find it in there, you can go over to settings, come down to application, and then within application you want to go to manage install applications, and here is where you'd find App Starter. You'll find Kodi down here, and if you click on it you can launch the application, and this is how you do it manually. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This is Arnold.